Myself, S.P.Priyadharshini, Assistant Professor from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, Chennai. Now I am going to explain about the topic Structured Query Language from the subject Database Management Systems. Let us move on to the topic. And these are all the agendas that to be covered in this session. First of all, we're going to see about the definition of structured query language. Then, what are all the types of structured query language we are having and their commands. And we are having 4 different classifications of SQL, that is structured query language. The classifications are data definition language, data manipulation language, data control language, as well as transaction control language. Let us move on to the topic. First one is, first of all, what is a database management system? So the DBMS, it stands for Database Management System. In this, the data is nothing but the user's input, user's data, user's content. The database is the storage where all the user's data has been stored together. And the management system, it is a system for making any updations, any changes towards the stored databases of the user. So this is what the entire definition about the database management system. DBMS is a collection of data and a set of programs to store and access. Access can also be said as retrieve those data in an easy and effective manner. Then next comes our topic SQL. SQL is a abbreviated form of structured query language. Okay, and this is the SQL is a database computer language. For our computer, we'll be having certain languages like Java, C, C++, whatever for coding our input to the computer in order to get the optimized output for any such problems. So here SQL is a problem is a language, sorry, it's a language for database. In order to access the database, in order to create a database or store, retrieve or manipulate anything you wish to do in the database, you have to use the SQL language. Okay, so it is a database computer language designed for retrieval and the management of data in a relational DBMS. Okay, so then types of SQL commands. What are all the types of SQL commands we are having? That means the types of SQL languages. Okay, the first one is the data definition language. In short, we can say it as DDL. And next one is the data manipulation language. In short, it can be said as DML. Data control language, it can be said as DCL. Then transaction control language, it can be pronounced as TCL. So in DDL, first one is data definition language. Data definition language is nothing but it is used for defining a database. Okay, that means in order to create a table, create a thing, create a database, you have to save the data and deleting the data. Those actions will be comes under DDL commands. So what are all the commands which is covered in the data definition language are, first one is create, next one is alter, drop, rename and truncate. So let us have the detailed description about each and every command. First one is the create command. It is used to create a database. Okay, so in database we will be having the storage space in the disk storage. You have to create a table, create a value in order to store it in the storage space. Okay, so it is used to create the database, table, index or the stored query. And a create statement in SQL creates an object inside a RDBMS. RDBMS is nothing but relational database management system. See here, this is the syntax for the main purpose of create database. Create is to initialize a new database into the storage space. And the syntax is create. Create is a keyword here in order to create any database, and database is also a keyword. So create database, then database name, that is your desired user's desired name. Okay, so only some databases require database to be created the space and allocated prior to create for the creation of table. Okay, it will be those authorizations will be provided by the database administrator. Okay, so here for this syntax, for in order to create a database, we are having an example, that is create database and slot 6. Slot 6 is nothing but the table name. Now we are going to create a slot 6. After executing this command, what happens means in our disk storage space, uh, a table will be created when some memory will be allotted for this slot 6 table. Okay, slot 6 database, sorry. And in order to create a table, because in a structured query language we'll be storing our data in a structured manner, because the structured query language will consist of complex data type data types. We know that each and every data will having a data types like integer, strings, likewise characters, like this. So those every structured query language database will consist of complex data type data. Okay, so in that, why we need to create a table means we have to arrange the data, every individual entity in a structured manner. So for that we'll be using this create table syntax. So here it is used to create a new table. The syntax for creating a new table is create table is the keyword, then users desired table name, and within that, within the open parenthesis, within the parenthesis, we have to give the column name and its data type. For example, if you're going to create a table for, see here, for the bank details means we sorry, here we have given us a book details. Book details means we have to give the ISBN number of that book and title of that book, who author ID and the price of the book. So each and every entity will have the different data types. ISBN number will be declared using the variable character, even in the integer or in the character, and title will be used declared using characters. It will consist of alphabeticals, and author ID will be declared through integer data type, and price will be in the float data, because then integer part as well as the complex part will come. So we will be declaring it using the pointed values will be declared using float. Okay, so this is the syntax for creating a new table, and here is the example for creating a new table for books. Okay, then next is the next command for DDL is the now we're going to see about the data types for the DDL commands. What are all the existing data types for the, while creating a table we will be giving several columns, like last example we have seen for the book. So in that, what are all the data types we are having in our SQL language in order to declare? So string data, for the string data, that is the character data. We can use the keywords as char, varchar or varchar2. And the numeric data, if in case if you are going to give the under the column, if you are going to fill the value as numbers means, we can declare the data type as number, integer or float. And the temporal data, that means date, time, and date and time combinations, those data are temporal data. And the large objects are image files, and those files can be, see here, these are all the two types for the large objects, that is character large object through the alphabetical values, like a paragraph, likewise. And the binary large objects are blobs. Okay, those file it will consist of several files, set of files, binary files. The next command in the DDL data definition language is alter. Alter, this keyword is used to change any content, any values in the any entity into the table, inside the table. Okay, its main purpose is to alter the structure of database. Here you can add anything, any new element into the table, or you can delete the existing element through this alter command. So see here, to add a column into the table, if you wish to add a new column in the existing table, we have to use this syntax alter table and table name, and add is the keyword, add column name and the data type. Okay, and then for example, in this previous example, if you wish to add the author's name, we can create a new column, add author name with the data type character. Okay, then in order to delete a column in the table, this is the syntax. Okay, alter table, alter is the major keyword, alter table, table name. Drop is the keyword used for deleting any particular record, any particular column or row from the table. We can use this drop keyword, drop and column name. Then in order to change the data type of the column, any particular column, if it is declared in a integer, if you wish to change it as a character, then modify is the keyword to change the data type. See here, alter table, table name, and modify what column name and then what data type you're going to change. Okay, if it is integer already, if you're going to change it with a character, then we have to put the column name here and the character here. Okay, so here if you're going to modify a column in the table as like in the previous, here is the example. So see here, alter table, and from the table name modify some particular column and the data type. See here, this is the example. Okay, and describe is one of the DDL command which helps to describe the entire structure of the table. Okay, describe table name. If we ask to describe means it will describe about what the table contents are. Okay, then rename. Renaming means if you wish to rename the table name, the old name into any other new name, any desired name, then rename is the keyword to change the table name. So syntax is rename old table name to. To is the keyword and new table name. See here, rename employee to emp means then after this employee name for the table won't be exist. Okay, then after that table will be saved as emp. Then drop. So drop, as I said before, drop is the keyword for deleting any particular object from the database, not the entire database, but the any particular database from the database. Okay, syntax drop table, table name. Okay, here if you wish to delete the table, the complete table will be deleted. If we wish to delete any column, so drop the column name from table, table name, that like that we can give. Okay, then next is truncate. Truncate means this keyword helps to remove all the records from the table. Drop keyword which helps to remove any desired column or row or any particular record, but truncate keyword which is used to delete all the records from a table including the space allotted for the records. Okay, so see here, syntax truncate is the keyword and table is the keyword, table name. If this query has been executed, then the entire table won't be found in the storage space. Then next is the DML commands. DML stands for data manipulation language. Manipulation in general means going to make some changes into the existing database. So data manipulation language allows the user to query, that means to in order to create a table, or DML is uh, the main thing for manipulating any query is the DDL. Without DDL, DML queries can't work. Okay, that means DDL is a supporting language for the DML. Okay, so it allows the user to query and manipulate data in existing schema in object. Here, schema is nothing but the logical structure of a database. And data manipulation language statements or commands are used to managing the data within the tables, that we're going to manage in the sense we're going to make any changes, or we're going to add or alter whatever we're going to update. Those changes will be done through data manipulation language. So the DML commands are insert, update, delete, select. The first command is insert. It allows the user to add new records into the existing table. If already someone has created a table and that table has been stored into the disk storage, if we wish to insert any new element into the table, then insert keyword can be used. So it helps to insert one row at a time, or else with by separated CSV we can say no, comma separated values. Through the comma separated value, it can multiple rows can also be inserted into any particular table at a time, and are they insert any specific data into the specified columns. So this is the to insert one row at a time. This is the syntax. See here, insert into table name values. Values is the keyword. Within the parenthesis, we can give the values. So into that table, student table, these values will be inserted. One row, okay. And if you wish to insert many row at a time, insert into table name, okay. See here, the major difference are we're going to use this ampersand, okay. Here if you're going to fill the values into any particular row like this apostrophe will be given. If we wish to fill the multiple rows at a time, we will be using this ampersand for mentioning the columns. So insert into student values ampersand each and every separate values. Then inserting data in specified column. Any specified column, if you wish to insert any data means insert into table name. This is the column name. Into these columns, we have to fill these values. This is the syntax. An example, insert into student column names values are this one. So under this column, this value will be stored, and under this column, this value will be stored. Then next command for the DML is select. Okay, select command is used to retrieve any particular data from the database. Retrieve means we have to fetch. So retrieve read data from the database will be done through select command. It also helps to select the particular column from a table, or many columns also we can be select. Even to select all records from the table, if we put select star means entire table will be selected. To select particular record using where clause. And in order to select particular column from a table, this is the syntax: select column name from table name. If you wish to select multiple element at the same time, we have to, using comma, you have to put the column names. So see here, select this column name from student. Then these two particular columns, these two columns will be displayed as the output. And to select all the record from the table, if you want to select the entire record from the database, this is the syntax: select star from table name. So select is the keyword, star here mentions that entire record, okay. Select star from student. And to select a particular record using where clause, where is the keyword, that means see here the syntax is select star from table name. So after executing this one, entire table will be selected, where column is equal to this value. If you are giving like this, that particular column will be selected. Select using distinct. The distinct is the additional feature of the select keyword of the DML command. The distinct keyword is used in conjunction with the select keyword. It helps to avoid the duplicate values. It helps to remove the duplicate values from the selected column. Okay. So this is the syntax for the select along with the distinct. Select distinct column name from table name. So see here, select distinct department from employee. Like this. If we given like this, from the table employee, under the column department, if there is any duplicate value, those values will be deleted. This is the example. See here, select star from employee. That means the under the employee table, this is the entire table. So it has been selected the entire table. If we use select distinct department from employee under this column, this is the department column, no? Under this column, if you apply distinct in the employee table means what happens means, see here, develop has been duplicated 3 times, HR has been duplicated 2 times. So those values will be eliminated and only once only it will be printed. Then select department from employee. If you select like that means this will be, in general, if you give select department from employee means the department column will be printed. Then select distinct department from employee means that time, see here, these duplicate values will be deleted. and all the values, all the statements will be, words will be printed only once. Then next is the update command. So update command is used to modify the values in a column of any particular database. Update set where is the keyword. So here in syntax for the update table name set column name is equal to value where some particular condition. If this condition reaches, then what we have to do? We have to update the table by setting this column. Likewise, this is the description. Update student set some name is number is equal to this one, where if the name is Arjit Das, then we have to rename it with this register number. So see here, this is the example. Update student set this one. At initial, this is the table. Okay, Arjit Das does not have any thing. Okay, then see here. At initial, these two elements will be present at the table. After executing this command, this new row will be added into the table. That is called updation. And delete. This keyword is used for removing one or more records from the table. Delete from and the condition. See here, syntax delete from table name where this is the condition. So delete from student where this, if this particular register number if this condition satisfied, then we have to delete it. Then next is the DCL commands. DCL stands for data control language. Okay, so up to now we have seen about creating a table, creating a database, or inserting the value into the database, or updating the value into the database, or else deleting the database. Okay, so after this creation, we have to make someone to access this. Not everyone should be the authorized person for accessing all kind of database. So in order to provide the accession or the authorization to the over the database, we have to use some commands. Those commands will come under data control language. So data control language includes the commands such as grant and revoke. Grant is the keyword used for giving permission to some person in order to access the database. Revoke is the keyword which used to withdraw the access from the any particular person. So it mainly deals with the rights, permission and other controls over the database. So create is used to create user area in the database, and grant is used to access privileges in order to access any changes into the database. Revoke is used to withdraw the access. So this is the syntax for the user create user username identified by password. If this user is trying to log in, if this is the password, then for creating a username and password. Okay, so this is the example. And see here, create user, this is the username identified by, this is the password, user created. Whenever this person again trying to access the database, that time he has to give this password. Then grant all privileges to, this is the entire keyword. So grant all privileges to username, some particular username. So initially we have created the created a user. For that created user, we're going to grant the permission. So grant all privileges to username. So here, for example, grant all privileges to my DBMS S5. Okay. So after this statement only, after executing this command only, those created user can access the database. So grant all privileges to this one. Grant succeeded, then he will be asked to enter the username password. Then after that the user can access the database. Then next is the revoke command. Revoke command is used to withdraw the accession. Okay, so revoke all privileges from. Okay, we're going to withdraw the permission from privilege from the any particular user. So revoke all privileges from user area. So see here, this is the example, revoke all privileges from my DABMS. Yes. See here, after executing that command, revoke succeeded. Then if you're trying to access, then those user will get logon denied error. Okay, because his privileges has been withdrawn. Then next is the TCL commands. TCL is the transaction control language of the structured query language. It is used to manage the transaction in the database. That means we're going to make some transaction from one database to another database. In order to control those transactions, we will be using these TCL commands. It is used to manage the changes done by DML, because in the data manipulation only we will be doing the changes within the database. So this TCL will helps the DML to manage the changes. So the DCL commands are commit. Commit means in order to initiate the transaction, commits a transaction. Rollback. Rollback means in case during the transaction if any error occurs, means that time the transaction has to be restart again. Okay, that kind of activities will be done using rollback keyword. Then save point. Save point means it is a point to set for the larger record of transaction. During the transaction of a large record, the save point which will helps to find out where to roll back and where to commit a transaction again. Likewise, and set transaction, it is used to specify the characteristics of transaction, what kind of transaction, and every details about the transaction will be specified using set transaction keyword. The first one is commit. Commit is used to permanently save any transaction into the database. Okay, so in using DML we will be doing insert, update and delete changes, and after those changes, after changing the element, that data has to be stored permanently within the database, that will be done using commit. And to avoid that we'll be using that commit, because in order to avoid the changes, while changes we'll be updating the data, the old record has to be vanished away, the new record has to be stored into the disk. That kind of duty will be done by the commit. So syntax is just commit. So next is the rollback. Rollback will helps to restore the database of the last committed state. That means when while transacting any such data, if any error occurs during the transaction, means that time setting back of data, restarting the transaction again will be done using rollback. So rollback to save point name. Save point. Save point is the command which is used to save the command transaction temporarily. Okay. Then at last we'll be having this set transaction. We know that set transaction is used to specify the characteristics of transaction. Okay. So these are all about the structured query language. The structured query language is nothing but a database language in order to manage any database system. And the types of structured query languages are DDL, DML, DCL as well as TCL. Each and every command into this language will be used for manipulating the database. Okay. Thanks for watching the video.